going on, people? Good morning. Welcome to United View. Happy Monday. Happy transfer view. Hope you guys are good. One in the bag. Well, another one in the bag in Andre Onana. On to the next. No time to wait. No time to procrastinate. No time to just sit there twiddling our thumbs. We want more signings. We want more. Hojlund, next move. We're going to be talking about that. Maguire United exit. Obviously, we know that he was stripped of the captaincy yesterday. We're going to talk about what his future looks like. Bruno, the new captain. Henderson move, 20 million. Good money. Good money. And a backup keeper signing. So loads to get into. Big up to each and every single one of you. This is the last day where me, KG, and Josh are in the country before we go out to New York as well. So shout out anyone going out to New York. We'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of the show as well. But yes, on to the next. So, Owen, happy good morning to you. Happy Monday to you. Bro.
Happy good morning to you. Yes, I like that. Happy good morning to you. Just before we get into the Rasmus Hojlund news, Sky Sports just going with the news that was coming up from last night, saying Manchester United have reached a broad agreement with Inter Milan over a deal to sign Andre Onana. Romano's also tweeted a little bit more this morning. If you're wondering, okay, now that we've got the here we go, what happens next, essentially? He is saying the Andre Onana deal has been agreed. It was agreed yesterday night. Manchester United will now start to prepare contracts and paperwork, then book medical tests. Onana will sign until June 2028, which is a 5-year deal, plus an option until 2029. The expectation is for official announcement later this week, not today. So if you're thinking that we're going to hear something today from Manchester United, I mean, you can't rule out that they could do an agreement in principle thing, but as far as Onana holding up the shirts, holding up the gloves, and holding the ball, all that kind of stuff, probably a bit unlikely that's going to happen today, but it'll be coming later on this week. But on to the next flex and on to Rasmus Hojlund, because he is Manchester United's top striker target this summer, and that's been reported several times. And according to Alfredo Padula, there's possibly a new bid going to come in from Manchester United for Rasmus Hojlund. Now, this is very interesting. The price. The price for this one has been all over the shop, hasn't it? It's been, it started off, we think we can get it for 40 million euros. Then it's gone to, what about players plus cash? Then it's gone to Atalanta want 80 million quid. That's pounds sterling. But according to Alfredo Padula, it's now saying that Atalanta maybe want 60 million euros plus bonuses, or also known as add-ons. Fabrizio Romano is saying that Manchester United is set to push for Rasmus Hojlund now. Manchester United will also explore new midfielder options after sales have been completed. Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail also saying that Manchester United will now step up their efforts to sign a new striker, with Atalanta's Rasmus Hojlund the number one target. So basically, as you mentioned, Flex, on to the next one. And what do you make of that number? What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a fluctuating number, isn't it? Because when that news was kind of breaking, or it was a thing that it was 86 point something million, you're thinking, get the hell out of here. It's just making you angry, saying, listen, I've not really heard of this kid before. Who on earth is going to pay 80? Well, it better not be us who's going to pay 86 million for him. Then now we're starting to get to some more reasonable prices, which again is more maneuverability to come down as well. So what was that, 60 million euros?
Yeah, 60 million euros.
So that's roughly what,
55?
Yeah,
50, yeah, something like 55. Yeah.
Room for maneuverability. I tell you what, 45 plus add-ons.
Or are we in a situation where actually no one knows? Are we back in that situation where no one actually really knows the price?
Well, it's fluctuating so much that it shows that, because when it was Onana, when it was Mount, it was Chelsea want 60, United want to pay 40 or something like that.
Chelsea started off with like 80, didn't they? We want 75, 80, and United went, we want 45.
It's always high. It's always high at the beginning, isn't it? It's always high at the beginning. And we always have an idea of what we want to pay. And it's about trying to get into that middle ground. We did it, to be fair, you can say we probably overpaid for Mason Mount with the year left and stuff like that. But essentially, like we always say, 10 million here or there if he does really well and hits the ground running and just is what the team needed. We're not really going to go that angry. We're not going to remember it. But I was, I remember being when you're in the saga, I was like, walk away. I think I tweeted one day, I was like, walk away if they want that. They're taking the piss. And in the end, we got him for what is about right. Considering Chelsea weren't going to budge and all of them things. Yeah, he should be 35, 40 million, but it's always going to be the situation it was. Same with Onana. You know, they wanted 60 plus add-ons and all this things, didn't they, at the beginning? What was the final thing with Onana?
Well, it's being reported that it could be around sort of 43 million quid, something like that. And this is kind of what
With
I was saying
add-ons?
last night. Plus add-ons. So
Plus
43 million
add-ons.
quid plus add-ons.
So it might rise to like 50 max.
But the point is, this is kind of what I was mentioning before. And I've criticised John Murtough this summer because, you know, because of the pace of things. And I do think, in fairness, some people are saying, well, actually, you look at the pace of other signings this summer, we're about on par.
This
with
pace
other,
is all right.
Other clubs are struggling, and other clubs have had frustrations that things have taken a while. And you look at a Chelsea side or Chelsea team, Chelsea club Chelsea side that wanted £75 million. Like, but you know, they wanted a lot of money for Mason Mount, and eventually United got that down to £55 million. Forget the £5 million in add-ons because they're saying they're way off. So 55 million quid for Mason Mount. Andre Onana, reportedly, Inter initially wanted at least over £50 million, 51. They could have got that down to £43 million. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
When you think about that, if we do, I think it's going to be around 50 million. I think it's going to be around that. Because also what I was saying to you earlier, what we were talking about on the phone, and I don't know if you lot have seen this, it's like, well, you would have seen this. We're in that sort of £50 million ballpark at the minute. Like, yes, we got Casemiro for like 70 or didn't we in the end? Obviously, Anthony cost 80 in the end.
But he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. He was supposed to be 50, wasn't he, when it was earlier in the window? So since Ten Hag's come in with Casemiro being Casemiro because he is Casemiro, fair play. We're in that middle of the road mark of strong, solid 50 million players, which we said we need to come away from the 90 millions and, you know, the big monies. Like we said, Anthony should not have cost that. That's our own fault. It's our own fault. Ajax are a very well-run club. We went near the end of the window and tried to get him when they said, listen, 100 million euros now, mate. You're taking the piss. We've given you our manager. We've given you Martinez. You wanted Timber just before that. Like, what left are you leaving us? And now you want him. And then he kind of had to force the move, be a bit forceful himself. So I get it. I get that. So really, we can see that Ten Hag is in this rebuild phase of like around about a £50 million player. And if the right one, obviously, if we could get Harry Kane, they would. If we had the 100 million, 110, we'd be putting it up because that's premium. But we're in and around the 50 million mark, and I think eventually we'll get Hojlund for around that price, which I suppose you have to always, you know, try and separate your emotions and look at the bigger picture. And then you go, well, you know, if he hits the ground running, how much do we remember the money versus that money could have been spent on XYZ because our budget's tight. You've got to balance all of these things because when the saga's going on, I do it all the time. I just get frustrated. I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. Walk away. Don't, you know, but for 100% sure, 86 million, 80, all that crap, walk away. Like, don't even entertain it. But the reality is it ain't going to be that. If Man United get Rasmus Hojlund, it's not going to be anywhere near £80 million, in my opinion. If it is, then that is a disgrace and that is a cheat, and we shouldn't be doing that. But I think it will come down a lot.
And also as well, I mean, again, historically, of course, United have a pattern of overpaying for players, and but it's almost because of the financial situation this year.
Yeah, we're not.
They can't. So they don't even have the option. So they're forced to actually, you know, negotiate transfers properly.
So maybe it's helping us.
Maybe, but you know what I mean? Because historically, you know, because they're so bad with negotiations, eventually they do throw their hands up in the air and go, "Oh, fine, we'll give you what you want now because we need the player. We get desperate." Whereas now it is a little bit like, we can't. we cannot do it. So we're going to have to negotiate or we're going to have to walk away. And it's very funny and curious that in both instances of the players that we have signed this summer, again, Onana's not, you know, holding up the shirt yet, but it's basically done, is that on both occasions, there were threats of, we're going to walk away. We've got other options. Flex, we're going to get Moises Caicedo. Gone very quiet on that one, isn't it? We're going to get Moises Caicedo, and everyone said at the time, no, we're not going to get Moises Caicedo, but it was a threat. Same with Andre Onana, that 3 or 4 day period or week period where, why hasn't this fee been agreed? This is taking a little while. So then it comes out, hey, Dean Henderson could be our number one. You know, we'll keep it. no problem. We'll keep Dean Henderson. And everyone's going, and then again, everyone's like, no, you're not. You're not gonna keep Dennis. But the point is that they're trying to negotiate, and this is what strap in again, because a lot of people, myself included, got very, very tired of this Andre Onana thing with the every day, like, why has nothing happened yet? What's going on?
But it's going to be like that for every single. The Hojlund
again,
going to do
it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be exactly the same now. Atalanta want this. United are only willing to do that. Player sales. Player exchange. Oh, they're going to offer this person. They're going to offer that person. Like, that's going to be the situation. According to Romano, Hojlund's been done in terms of a personal terms agreement since like May. So it comes back to, once again, a bit like with this Onana deal, is the moment they agree a fee, it will be basically done. So now they've got this period of time where they have to try and agree a fee. My only concern is now, with the proximity to the tour, is there any chance this striker actually participates in the tour? It's quite unlikely, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's
we're not going to have a striker on tour. No. Basically, if Hojlund were to join United, the first game he can probably play is that first game back at Old Trafford. Really, you would probably think, and then even then you go, that's beginning of August. It was 17th of July at this point.
We get back, and then we got Lens, and then we got Dublin. Yeah.
So I'm already looking a bit forward, going, season starts, and I think it's 6 weeks, or is it 4 weeks? 4 weeks, I think it is. About a month, isn't it? Something like that. And I'm looking towards that first game of the season at Wolves, and I'm starting to think to myself, are we going to have a striker at that point? And I'm leaning towards probably not. And that's really worrying, because then I start to have to question, is Anthony Martial going to be fit for that first game of the season? And I go,
oh, let's forget that.
Probably not. So then we're already saying, okay,
he's going to miss preseason as well, and we know what happens if you miss preseason.
At least a big chunk of it. At least a big chunk. So we're now saying, actually, pencil it in now. Marcus Rashford will be playing up front against Wolves at Old Trafford on the Monday Night Football on the first weekend of the season.
Yeah,
that's why it's crucial. And this is why I go back to the whole point of people go, I saw someone in the comments say, when I've been saying this priority stuff, the priority stuff's bullshit. It's not bullshit, because we could have gone into that first game without having Mason Mount in midfield, and we'd have still been all right. Even for the goalkeeper situation, obviously we needed a keeper because the other one's gone at this point. Yeah. But the point being is, we need a striker. We need, Rashi can do patchwork for a game here and there.
Yeah, like we can beat Wolves at home with Rashford up front.
Yeah. But for a season where you want to achieve things, we need a striker.
No. But the striker's going to be in for the season. Like, he just, like you said, he just won't be there. Well, we're talking in probabilities here. Like, there's a high chance, like you said, if it is going to be Hojlund, which it looks like, there's no other names that we're strongly as linked to it forward-wise. It is Hojlund or nothing. Yeah. Kolo Muani's been mentioned-ish here or there, but there's been nothing concrete, nothing advanced, absolutely no negotiations whatsoever. It's Hojlund. We know that. So that's cool. The same way it was like that with Onana. Yeah, some other keepers were mentioned. You know, Diego Costa was mentioned a little bit. Jan Sommer mentioned a little bit. But it was Onana. Same with Mason Mount. There's other little people. Oh, could you get Declan Rice? Or maybe Kaiser. It's Mount. So it's the same. It's the same with Hojlund.
Rice 2-player swap deal plus cash looks well
stupid. 100%. So it's gonna be Hojlund. And if you're looking at it now, like I said, they're trying to work on a deal, but it's not. Would you say it's advanced? Probably not. I wouldn't say it's advanced. I would say that the communication's been constant, and they're trying to.
There's been a bid,
but in terms of
there's been a bid before.
There's been a bid that's been knocked back. So the conversation's there, but in terms of like, there are only a few details to agree the fee. Like the Onana thing, it was like, just need to knock off this, and it'll be fine. Personal terms sorted already. We just need to get that green light on the price. The price is the biggest sticking point. And with this one, there's quite a disparity between the two valuations of what they want to do.
Oh, Fleck, I will stop you right there. We have breaking news. We are... I wish I had a keyboard sound. We're logging on to Ornhub early. Yes. Very early on this morning. And because David Ornstein has just tweeted 13 seconds ago, exclusive siren. Exclusive siren.
Oh, change the thumbnail.
Go live. He has said that Man United have reached an agreement in principle with Marcus Rashford over a new 5-year contract. The deal is until 2028 in final stages of negotiation and is set to be signed this is quite interesting. After the 25-year-old rejected more lucrative offers from England and abroad to stay at Manchester United. Now, he doesn't say how much it's for, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to know. We'll wait and see as the information continues to trickle through. But he is saying that Man United have reached an agreement in principle for Rashford to sign a new 5-year contract until 2028. You would assume with that extra year on. And he rejected more lucrative offers. So essentially, they're saying that there were clubs in England and also abroad.
Turn down Arsenal. Hold that, Arsenal fans. Hold that.
That were willing to pay him more money, possibly, than Man United. Yeah. And I'm sure that will get lost because obviously this wage is going to come out and it's going to be a lot of money. And people are like, see, this is what's wrong with United and all that kind of stuff. But according to the report, he rejected more lucrative offers to stay at Manchester United, stay at his boyhood club. What are your thoughts on that? Not too much of a surprise, obviously, because I think the expectation was that he was going to stay. What are your thoughts about the idea that maybe he rejected some more lucrative offers on the table?
Yeah, because I think the news is not surprising. Knew he's going to stay. Never in doubt. In my opinion, anyway. I know people, with PSG come and you never. In my opinion, I've always been comfortable he's going to stay. Always.
Saudi,
yeah. You never know. I just me personally, he's not going anywhere. He was always going to stay at Man United for me. Especially off the back of the type of season that he had. I just think with the magnitude of the contract and the player, it was always going to take a while, innit, to get there. That is very interesting though about
the offers.
even people in England. Even people in England.
Do you believe it?
You say to yourself,
because that's going to be what people push back on. Some people are going to say this is just PR. This is.
I'll be honest.
This is United and Rashford trying to sort of play down because it's going to be a big wage, and people are going to be like, and this is United trying to say actually a bit like with the Mason Mount thing. Even though people wanted to ignore that, Mason Mount, he got offered comparable salaries at Liverpool, Arsenal, all those people that were interested in him, and he decided to join United.
It could be.
Do you buy it?
I don't really care. I don't. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. Because I wanted Rashi to stay and keep building. I'm not in this. Oh, but look, they're just trying to justify giving him that money. Oh, look at them trying to spin it. Also, David Ornstein's very well respected, and okay, it could be a line from the club, but Ornstein's got a lot of other sources that are not directly from the club. Because remember, let's be real, someone as big as Marcus Rashford, if this was just phone up the comms team and get a line, where's Laurie Whitwell? Where's Samuel Luckhurst? Where's Simon Stone? Who will all, by the way, now Ornstein's done this, they will be here within the next 10 minutes, I promise you, with a line that's all similar. Whereas David Ornstein's one is a breakdown like what we've just seen. And theirs will probably be a bit more vague, or they'll get an official line from the club that, again, they haven't announced it yet. So the club will be like, it's very, very close. Yes, initial deal to 2028. Further details to follow, something like that. But I think with Ornstein, he's got a lot of sources in the game away from Man United, probably at those clubs or with those agents who, not agents, with the other clubs, people who did maybe try to inquire about him and he shut it down. And I think you'll find out a lot more. So it is going to be interesting to see how much it is for. And I get it. We're trying to move away from people being on astronomical wages and then not fulfilling and then not being it. But for me, I see this as a positive, man. I really do. I know some people see the Rashi thing as, oh yeah, but one good season and what's it going to be like after that? I think we've got the right manager at the right time for the right player, and I think last season proved that. I'm gonna put my neck on the line here, put my head on the chopping block. Might not be a 30-goal season, but I think now we'll start to see under Eric Ten Hag, because of, again, how this team's going to kick on. I think we're going to see the best of Rashi now. Like a consistent Rashi.
I do think it was quite curious that, he had his best season ever last season.
Yeah.
And there are still, I've noticed people that are still like, nah, he's not good enough. And I do then sort of go, wow, he did all right last season. Yeah. I understand what people are saying in the sense of, let's say let's say it's 375k a week, right? I don't know how much it is, but let's say it's like that. Let's say it's like that old De Gea wage or whatever. I can see why people go, it's a lot. And, you know, is he that guy? You know what I mean? Rashford's good, but is he that good? Last season, we saw glimpses. It wasn't like that for the entirety of the season. That's fair to say. Around April, like a lot of people in that United side, but he dropped off. He did drop off. And I think the pressure now is, okay, show people it wasn't a purple patch between sort of November and March. Show people that this is your level. This is your standard. Because if he carries on the form he had towards the tail end of the season, kicking off this season, I think rightfully so, some people will be looking at him going, I tell you what,
Rashford. Yeah, it comes with expectation. But also, if he has another season where he scores 30 goals again, but he did it in exactly the same way, I wouldn't give a shit.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Like, put the numbers on the board. I don't care. Like, I know essentially you want your goals to be spread out, because when you get to the business end of the season and your main guy's not firing and you're in finals and semi-finals and, you know, big games that count towards the title, hopefully. I get it. You don't want someone who's just scored all in the first half of the season and not at all. But essentially, it all counts to the same tally. It does. And I just think this is some people don't like this, and this is interesting to see because this splits opinion, but this is a kid who's come out of our youth academy and made it. And I want to see him earn it, of course, but I want to see him absolutely be here, absolutely be one of the main players, absolutely be one of the key faces and key figures to our return back to success. And again, this is less so away from Marcus, but more onto to Eric. Like, we've got the guy for the guy. You know, I really do believe that. Time will tell. Of course, time will tell. But to see Marcus Rashford how he was last year, yes, mostly in a purple patch, but across the season still had his best ever season. As this team kicks on, Onana's coming. You're adding in Mount. We're gonna get a striker. You know, you look at Martinez, Casemiro. Like, the team is building, and we're gonna see a better Marcus Rashford for it. The same way other players have improved their weaknesses, where you're looking at Wan-Bissaka and going, bloody hell. We did the same with Rashford. We went, bloody hell, he's got 30. Go flipping heck. You know what I mean? Like, and I just think that this is the play. I look at Mason Mount, who left the Cobham set up, and I'm like, I don't want to see that happen to Rashi. And it's not just of sentiment. He has to earn it, which obviously he earned it last year. But I want to see Rashford have his whole career at Man United and be amazing and put up big numbers on the board and be our star boy. He's our guy. Arsenal got Saka. Do you know what I mean? West Ham had Declan Rice, or Chelsea had Mason Mount, or Reece James. Liverpool got Trent. Like, Man City don't have that because they're Man City. But, you know, they've got a couple coming through. They got Foden, actually. That's a lie. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a
I'll
lie.
take that back. They got Foden. You know what I mean? They got other little youngsters coming through. Tottenham have Harry Kane. So it's like, Marcus Rashford is ours. And I'm not saying everyone has to have it in your sentiment FC and you're the problem with it. Yeah, people can say that, but he's earned it. And I think more importantly than anything, we've got the right manager for it. We've got the right manager for this guy. And like I said, DMQ says sentimentality and hope strategy over time. Rashford hasn't shown the Salah, Mbappe, or even Mahrez. So he shouldn't be expected to get the same treatment. Time will tell. Like, again, not mate.
The season's big. This season's big.
Yeah, 100%. But not everyone can just be a prime Salah. Like, these are generational. Yeah, maybe it would never be as good as a prime Salah. Many players won't.
I think, like I said, last season was big for him in terms of a comeback because he was so far off it the season before. And I think I was of the mindset of, like, if there's a good offer comes in, a bit like, it was almost sort of Sancho-esque territory in the sense of, I tell you what, if an offer comes in, maybe we should take it. You know, maybe he isn't going to be that guy. Then he had a fantastic season, which was a bit of a slow burn because it sort of started off a bit slow and then really ramped up around the winter period. And he was brilliant. Like, you can't overlook, like, when he went to the new camp, he was sensational against Barcelona that night. And he was doing that stuff regularly. Remember, even when against Wolves away, when he was dropped and then he came on, and we were, by that point, we were like, we're not going to do anything about Rashford playing. He came on, he scored. That's what he was doing. And then again, around March, April, he dropped off massively to the point of he came back in the side after a few injuries and you couldn't notice, really. And now it's just a case of, again, prove people that wasn't you in good form. That's your new level. And because if he does And when you sign a new contract, you sign all the pressures that come with it. You're a senior player in this side now. You're an experienced player in this side. You're no longer that young kid. You're now, what is he, 25? You're in your prime. Like now you've really got to kick on. So I think the expectation is definitely going to be there. We got loads of super chats, Fleck.
Yeah. Just really quickly before we get to it, B-Say says, Flex, you're saying maybe he won't even be a prime Salah, yet you're saying he should be paid more than Salah. He's more than Salah's ever been paid. More than Salah was paid during his best years. Yeah, but then you have to look at the size of the clubs and the wage structures of the clubs. Like people say, like you can give him this, you were happy to give him Mbappe money. This isn't Mbappe money. If you've got Mbappe, you have to give him like 600 grand a week, 700 grand a week. Like it's not the same. And look, at the bigger clubs, that's what we do. We've got Jadon Sancho on 350 grand a week. So how on earth can Marcus Rashford negotiate a thing and be under that? How? Then we may as well just say bye to him then. And I know some people might want that to happen. Fair enough. But I don't get why people don't want Rashi to stay. Okay, money, I get it, is a thing. And like Owen says, this is something that is on him. This is a huge season for him because when you sign the deal, when you sign the thing, the money goes up. We're watching. I get it.
We've seen what you can be as well. So this isn't even fake expectations anymore. Oh, he's never going to be that good. He's proved he can be in points. You know. Yeah. So again, that's critical as well.
Yeah. WJ Barrett says, I hear Levy wants 113 million euros. Go get him. I don't know. We're wishing here. P.S. If Maguire leaves, we may need a new centre-back, a new right centre-back. Oh, yeah, definitely, if he leaves. WJ Barrett says, could Rashford be captain? This is big news, maybe.
Oh, you've skipped one, Fleck.
Alex says, proud of Rashford, and we are getting Kane. Go, Murto. I don't know, where's this Kane coming from? Come on, guys. Come on, relax, chill.
Oh, you skipped the load, Fleck.
Oh yeah, I have. Sorry. Let me go back. Sorry. What's happening here? It keeps moving when the new one comes in. Right. Let me go back. WJ Barrett says Telles, Eric, Maguire, Hendo equals 70 million. Get Kane. Was that on the show? That was on the show yesterday. We was talking about when you add up the money, innit, Owen?
Yeah.
Actually, we can get like 90 million. Kristen been a member for 13 months.
Over a year.
13 months, bro.
And look at the picture as well. It's a picture of you, Fleck.
Yeah, he always has that as his DP. Big up, Kristen, man. Met him at the 100K party. Big up, Kristen. Says, morning all. I think we sell 2 or 3 players before we sign Hojlund or any other targets. Basically, to get some money in. Satchif says, big up, Flex and Owen. Hojlund is not United quality. Aminor says, Owen, is the Hojlund dead as Maguire's future at Man United?
I think the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite. Satchif says, Flex, imagine us winning the league at Old Trafford, second last game of the season. I will be there. Oh, bring some good luck, Satchiv. Scar says, what on earth are we doing? He has 1 purple patch and we give him the world. He won't have another the 2 more years now. He won't have another 2 more years. You won't, basically, I don't think you think, why did we give him it? And he won't ever do as well again. V33 says, sell Maguire and McTominay and Fred, 80 million. Get Amrabat 30 million and Hojlund for 50 and push a youth centre back to the first team. Let Mainu break through now. Kane, light 100 mil. Got it all planned out. WJ Barrett says, Rashi is a baller. He is an asset to Man United. Buzzing. Alex says, proud of Rashford and we are getting Kane. Go, Murto. WJ Barrett says, could Rashford be the captain? This is big news. Maybe. We'll talk a little bit about that. Leander says, appreciation chat for both Flex and Owen. Big ups. Fire emoji. Big up to you. Appreciate that. Satchif says, watch Rice flopping at Arsenal. We'll see. Nathan's, yeah. Honestly, big up Cecil. The year is 2051. The Glazers are reviewing the 478th bid from Sheikh Jessim and Sir Jim. McTominay signs a new 2-year contract. We take forever to progress anything. Cheers from Sydney. Big up all the Australians there, down under as well. Got the Women's World Cup on the way to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy that, and New Zealand too. Be tuning to that. And Ed Woodward says, Captain Sexy Bruno. If you know, you know. Big changes loading.
Big changes. Big trouble.
Big changes. Big trouble.
Well, it's a good segue, actually, because it goes into Harry Maguire wanting out, because we've got to talk about Maguire. But obviously, he is no longer former Manchester United captain Harry Maguire, actually. Now, a report from Charlie Wyatt is saying that Harry Maguire was angry, shocked, and upset when Erik ten Hag told him he was no longer the Manchester United captain. He is ready to leave the club. Now, who could he go to? Well, according to this same report, it just come from The Sun. Gross. Chelsea are considering entering the race for Harry Maguire alongside West Ham, Spurs, and Newcastle. So big clubs interested. But how much could we sell Harry Maguire for? According to the report, Harry Maguire's £50 million valuation is likely to drop to £30 million. Flex, are you happy for Maguire to be sold for £30 million? Or would you like to go up just a little bit?
No, I wanted to go up a lot because I've got a bet with AGT that he won't go for less than 40 million. And I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
40 is a good price. This is when it gets back into, isn't it? When we talk about this a lot. You know, Harry Maguire's rubbish, blah, 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 blah. All right, he's not good enough to be a Man United player. All right, he definitely wasn't good enough to be the Man United captain, but he is still an international player, and that's played in the Premier League a while. We can get 40 million for him. we can get 40 million quid for Harry Maguire, particularly if some of those clubs that they're saying there are coming in. West Ham, you go, you've got money. You just sold Declan Rice, £100 million. Chelsea, we know how much you want to spend money. I don't see him going to Chelsea. Could you imagine?
It's true.
Could he go to Chelsea?
Nah, I can't.
Could he go to Newcastle?
Nah. We've spent. Nah, Eddie Howe. Look at Dan Burn if we're going to move away from here. Nah.
Could he go to Spurs?
Yeah. Spurs, West Ham.
You say that. I mean, I watched Ange Postecoglou's Celtic play a few times, and the way that they play football. I mean, they play heavy possession football, heavy, and I think with a fairly high line. I'm not sure how that would work out at Spurs, honestly.
That'd be fine.
But West Ham, I could see it be a viable one. And also, look, you just got stripped of the captaincy for no disciplinary matter. You got stripped of the captaincy because the manager has said you're not good enough. There are other better options. Most of the time when people lose the captaincy, it's because they've done something, like something nefarious has happened, and they go, "Look, we can't have you representing it. Here's the armband. We've got to get it back." They've just said to him, "You're not it." So sorry, but the other guy's basically the captain already in Bruno. So you're gonna have to go. And the only thing I was surprised by all of this was just the fact that it came as a shock to him. How did that come as a shock? You haven't been captain for a year, basically. How has that come as a shock? So I expect him to leave, but we should get a good price.
Yeah, I think he will go for 40, and look, at least 40. People. Look, he's had a terrible time at Man United, awful time, especially this back end of it. Because at the beginning, it was all right, weren't it? He was captain, he's flying, and did all right under Ollie in the first bit, and then the demise started to happen. But when people are like, "Well, he should be playing in the Championship," we'll be lucky to get 20 million for him. Like, it ain't. Come on, it ain't as bad as that. It's not. He'll be playing in the Premier League. Harry Maguire's not going to be playing in the Championship. He's not.
No.
He's going to go back to the level that he was before he came to Man United, which ironically is Leicester, but they're back in the Championship. But you get my drift. If Leicester was still here as that mid-table team or pushing a little bit higher than that, he could play for them. He absolutely could play for them. He can. Or he might have to go abroad. Who knows? But he's going to need a resolution. Interesting to see in his statement yesterday when he said, obviously, yes, every time I put the shirt on, I'm going to give my all. Maybe he might never wear a shirt again.
That's what I said yesterday. I don't think he's going to put it on again. I think there's a real conversation now. We fly out Wednesday. Do I even go on tour?
He'll be on tour.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I think he will.
I don't know. I really don't know.
He will. Because if he's not, it's like...
If he's not on the tour,
you're done and dusted. Then it's like... And I don't know if they...
Yeah. By the Tellers category where it's like...
Do you know why? Do you know why I think he'll be on the tour? Because he's not... He's out of favour where he's fifth choice, and Ten Hag, will have him in the squad in the year if he doesn't go anywhere. So, but if the right offer doesn't come in from him and they can't sell him or whatever, and he has to stay. He needs him as just be you're in the squad. It's not like a falling out where you've been banished. If something happened, like I'm going to allow you when you're here. Obviously, it's man management. When you're here in the States, yeah, I'll allow you to be having your phone calls with your agent. You're actively working on, Fred will be on the tour, I reckon. He's going to move. Because I just think that, you just let them do it. Still be professional. We're not in Timbuktu now. We're not in Australia where it's going to take best part of 24 hours to get back. You're on an 8-hour flight. You can get a flight whenever you need. Or there's representatives for them clubs going to fly over to meet you, quickly do whatever they need to do. It's America. It's not that deep. So I feel like, apart from Dean Henderson,
you could do that in the States.
A lot of these teams are out there. Newcastle are out there for a thing. There's that Premier League thing going on, isn't there? Maybe even Fulham.
Spurs are in Australia.
Spurs in Australia. So that is far. But I just feel like it's not because these signings, because these exits aren't like Henderson's like, you're gone. You're gonna go.
Yeah.
You're gonna go. The new keeper's just come. Talk about Dean Henderson. There's talks about Tom Heaton going to Luton, etc., etc. Those ones are a bit more, that's going to happen. With Harry Maguire, this is quite fresh, and we fly out in a couple of days. Like, I can't see that. I can't see him just saying, because also it's going to dominate his thing. Oh, Harry Maguire's not here. Oh, he just won't do that. I don't think. I think he's on the tour.
It does tie in actually to our next point. We should actually merge these ones together. In that Bruno most likely is going to be the next Manchester United captain. Shock! I mean, I'm absolutely floored by this flex. I didn't see it coming. I'm really surprised. But
just like the Rashford deal,
reports in Portugal overnight saying that Bruno Fernandes is Manchester United's new captain. The decision is made. There is no going. Very dramatic. There is no going back, and it will be communicated to the group very soon. It was said yesterday in those statements that the players hadn't been informed. It would be interesting to know if Bruno has been informed. But again, this is a formality. I mean, he's been the unofficial captain for a year at this point. He has been playing as the captain for a year at this point. So it's just about, I guess, making it official. It's like that couple that's been together for like 3 decades and then they decide to get married in their like 70s or something like that. You go, wow. Yeah, you've basically been married forever.
I mean, you can sort of look at the number 7 as a conspiracy. Look at the 7 and was like, we did not see that coming. What on earth? But I suppose the difference here is, like you said, the difference here is Bruno has been the captain. For Bruno, and I know you said it yesterday, he'd probably leave if he wasn't. And look, Bruno's a team player. So he might not walk out the door straight away, but it would say a lot. That would hurt him a lot if he wasn't named as the captain, because obviously the next in command, the reason why he chose him is who's going to play every game, who's a good egg, who's infectious on the team, who's somewhat consistent. I know there's criticisms at Bruno that people lay at him, but in terms of putting numbers on the board and affecting the game and laying on chances, he does it as the most consistent player in the league. Like it or lump it, rival fans hate him because he does the moaning and whining, and he's the most overhated player in the league. He is, but he's ours, and no one can talk to him when it comes to making chances. Yeah, Rashford might miss a chance, or Weghorst or whatever. Someone might miss, but he's laying on chances. So for me, it absolutely should be Bruno. Someone said, "Oh, it should be Martinez." What about Martinez, Fleck? I'm like I said yesterday, it's fine. We don't. Those type of players don't need the armband to be able to justify their input. Martinez is going to pull up Bruno if he does madness. Casemiro is going to pull up Bruno if he does madness. They're also going to pull up the rest of the team if they do a madness. It doesn't need to just be one direct guy. Same with Varane, in a different way, not as crazy, but again, leader. He's there, he's vocal, he's talking people through the game. We're getting a team of leaders. That's what we want. Mount, not afraid to, not out and out going to walk in and dictate stuff at Old Trafford. There is a hierarchy, but he's going to go into that kind of senior big player pool where it's like, yeah, you can get involved in the big man conversations, mate. You're a Champions League winner. You're 24. Bruno ain't won the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying it goes off trophies, but he's not scared. He's been at a big club. He's been at Chelsea where you're supposed to win shit. Big characters in the dressing room, big players, big managers. So he slots into that as well. Who else are we getting? Hojlund, young kid, fair enough, not so much. Rashford, going to be the same. Going to be vocal, going to be part of the leadership group.
But yeah, absolutely. I think
Luke Shaw, another one.
The more interesting one for me is who gets that official nod as, the vice captain. But even then, it doesn't really matter
It doesn't
because
matter.
very,
Don't care.
very, very rarely you're going to be wearing the armband anyway. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Bruno doesn't miss any games. He doesn't.
100%.
And it's not even like the Europa League last season where it's like, well, on Thursdays you're captain the side. Bruno plays every game. He has always played every game. He's been injured last season, laid up with his leg in a brace, in a boot. And everyone's going, he's not going to play. He's playing 2 days later.
I was against Tottenham, innit? Yeah,
against Tottenham. Like he doesn't.
And he
miss
got that
out.
wicked assist.
Yeah. So like whoever is the vice captain, that's great. But you're very rarely going to be wearing that armband unless you never know something happens to Bruno or he gets suspended.
Do you think out of just in curiosity though, just to talk about it as official vice, Varane, Martinez, Casemiro, I know the English has got a bit of a way to go, but Shaw, who do you think it would be as vice captain?
Well, we did the vote yesterday, and
Rashford.
the majority of people said Casemiro.
Did they?
Yes, and it was like a 4-person vote. It was Casemiro, Martinez, Varane, and Rashford. They were the 4 that we put in the poll. Some people were saying Luke Shaw. I just don't know if I see him as that kind of figure, to be honest. You know what I mean? He's got tenure, but I don't know if I see him as that kind of figure.
I'd go with Martinez.
I would go Martinez too. Obviously, Casemiro is one of those ones whereby I don't think he needs it. He doesn't need that title.
He speaks for himself.
He doesn't need that title.
Yeah.
I think what did speak to me was that that video of Mason Mount's first day at Carrington. And he's sitting there and Martinez goes up to him and his whole family going, hello, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And look, to be honest, I'm sure everyone does that. I mean, we just saw it on social media. But the point is that even after a year, he's very clearly an influential figure in the group. And also he's an influential figure in the team because when he got injured at the end of last season, we really noticed. Really.
And he's going to play every game. With Rafa Varane, he don't play every game. But also, Owen, he was captain against Leeds the other day.
Wow, this is a point. Because
or was that just because of obviously Gordon McQueen?
Possibly
the number 5.
Possibly
was it that?
But Martinez was on the pitch, and it was Rafa.
And look at Rafa's career. That
experience. No issues with English.
Listen, if the ghost of Rafe the Phantom gets appointed vice captain, my guy getting a shirt, name on the back.
You can't do that, Fleck.
I can.
Fake one.
I can. Huh?
Fake one.
Arts Adidas to send it to me, so I don't have to pay. Fair enough, I'll do that. Oh. But something like that, get the club to send it. So all right, cool. Don't want to give the Glazers money, all that, blah blah. But you get my drift. I want a Varane shirt, and getting him to sign it if he's vice.
Do better. You don't have to get a shirt. What you do have to get is a Varane hat.
A Varane hat.
Some kind of Varane customized hat.
I'll just get an armband.
Number 19 captaincy.
Let's get an armband. A Sondico.
And pull it around your head like that.
you know the Sondico ones in Sports Direct armband, and get him to sign my armband. Rafa, can you sign my armband? Oh. Put it in UVHQ. I'd wear it, bro. Oh my god, I'm gonna get. Please be Rafa. I'm gonna buy an armband. If it's Bruno, I'm gonna get an armband. I'm gonna get him to sign it. I'm putting UVHQ.
Captain's armband.
We've got the captain's armband. How wicked would that be? I'm bringing one on tour. I'm going out today. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to go and buy an armband. I'm going to buy 2 armbands. And I want to get them signed by the vice and the thing. I'm going to bring them everywhere with me. So when we bump into the players, just quickly sign this, please. Bruno will do it. Oh,
he would do it, yeah.
Mate, who would want... Imagine, that would be an amazing prize for the viewers. In the comments, who would want to win the armband?
Yeah, signed that armband. Is a good prize. That's an amazing prize. That's a very good prize.
Like, shirts are one thing. Shirts, obviously, memorabilia, armband.
I like it.
Signed.
I do like that. Signed by the ghost of Rafe the Phantom.
Oh, my God. I love when listen, I just love meeting him. And I love, and I'll say it. I know there's no more player FC. I love that I just say hello to him all the time and he just says hello back. Just gives me a hug. I just like him and he likes me. Ghost of Rafe the Phantom. It's what a guy.
Varane friend.
Proper football friend.
Rolls Royce friend.
Proper Rolls Royce friend.
Driver friend.
Guy. I just love him.
French pal.
Yes. And I'm the Del boy who can't speak nothing.
Buongiorno.
Varane.
Monge too. Wow. Strongalive.
Yeah. Yeah. But you lot know on this channel, man, what Varane means to me. There isn't player FC anymore, but you know what Varane is to me, man. You know what he is. super chats. Where are we? Appreciate that.
Sin
Edward
Games.
There you go. Sin Games. Been a member for 2 months. Big up to you, Sin Games. Thank you. Says, cash in on Rashford. His IQ is too low to be a top player. His decision-making leaves a lot to be desired. Scored 30. If he passed, we could have scored 60. Strong words. Strong words. Let us know what you really think, Sin Games. Thesian says, big up Flex and Owen. Where's Altani? Neymar is literally waiting for 11 jersey. God knows about takeover, bro. Yeah, and that too. V33 says, gonna be a case of dump and dash the fridge. Wow. Sachi says, Maguire to Spurs. Here we go. And Yofie, Yufie. Apologies if I haven't pronounced that correctly. Would you be shocked if Bruno is not captain? Yes. That's what we just spoke about. Absolutely would be shocked. I'll be stunned to the point where it's like, our manager really does lie. You can be basically the captain all season.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah. I lie!
Luxiel says Flex needs to get onto Bruno because he owes him an interview from last year's tour. Exactly. Bruno, every time I see Bruno, I say the same thing. And he says he's going to do it. He never does. He says next time. But yeah, staggered if he's not. Satcher says, Flex, I would rather Lissandro as captain, not Bruno. Sorry, all he does is moan and complain like a petulant kid. Probably ran out of space. Really, Satchev? You want? I don't know. I think Bruno's earned it, man. We forget what I just think Bruno's the most overhated player, man.
Yeah,
like I get the start. I think it's like, do you know what it's like? It's like you see boxing where like there's the guy that does win a lot and does knock people out a lot, but his style of boxing, the way he boxes, isn't for the purist. He hasn't got the amateur pedigree. He's not silky smooth. Like his style of boxing, maybe people get a bit annoyed at, and then his interviews they get annoyed at because he's a bit whingy. But he gets shit done just like the other heavyweight who wins all their matches and knocks people out, but does it looking a little bit better. So it's like Odegaard's the flavour of the month, put up double figures, goals and assists last year. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, God, he's God. Just look at him. But it's because of the way he glides, the way he turns, the way he plays. But Bruno's been doing that for ages.
The guy's a moaner and he's petulant or he's a shithouse. Yeah. He's our shithouse. He's our moaner. He's our petulant.
And
captain.
If Bruno didn't play for us, I'd say the same thing.
I don't want to change him. I don't want to change his personality. And I know it's,
Coley, yeah, there you go.
People be like, oh, it's not very becoming of a Manchester United captain. Remember the fake outrage after that Liverpool loss? Bruno should be stripped of the captaincy because he was whinging and moaning after we lost 7-0. I want him to be a bit pissed off and be having a moan. We all were doing it. We all were moaning good. They're rubbish. He's terrible, whatever. But because it's the captain, he's not allowed to do it. I don't care. Like that does again. That when I'm watching the game, all I care about is that we win. I could care less. You know what I mean? Even if we lose and he's moaning or whatever. I mean, there's sometimes it's a bit OTT. Sometimes when he misplaces a pass and then goes, "What are you doing?" You go, "It's you, it's you." But again, I don't want to change that.
And again, we got the right manager for it. He said before after the Liverpool thing, when he was defending him, but at the same time says, "Yes, of course you can overstep the line." He was in the presser after that game. Actually, where did we go? Was playing someone at home. Was it Betis? We had to bounce back from. It was, wasn't it? After the 7-0. Was it Betis?
Yeah, Betis at home.
Yeah, there you go. And they asked him about, Bruno and he's captain. Is he still the vice captain? Not vice captain, but is he still your guy? And he said, look, of course he can go a little bit over the top, but he's a leader. And this is what leaders do. Like, get over it. Like, stop whining about it. Ironically, we got stuffed 7-0. It was embarrassing. Right, fix up a little bit. You can't go over the top. But remember, after that game, they were saying he should never wear the captain's armband again.
That's what I mean. It was ridiculous.
This, that. Shut up. And then he just calmed himself down and got back to it.
And a lot of those people saying that were people that weren't United fans. And a lot of people, again, particularly those pundits, are the people that throughout their whole career, they had a career of being beaten by Manchester United teams. So the moment they see someone, they go, "Oh, it's not very becoming of a Man United captain." What do you know about a Man United captain? You know nothing about a Man United captain. So quiet.
And we forget that Bruno came in. We had Jesse Lingard in the 10, Mata sometime in the 10, and Andreas Pereira in the 10. And we were screaming out for a creative midfielder who would put chances on the board. We've literally, for his job, we've literally got I know it's on paper because you can say he's nowhere near De Bruyne or he's nowhere near all this, whatever you want to say. Say he's top 3 then, whatever. But he puts on, he makes the most chances in the league. That's his job. In correlation, if he was a striker, it means he would be scoring the most in the league. That's his job.
Yeah,
like, what do you want him to do? Like, of course, we want him to do more things and contribute to the team and, help us play better. But as the team gets better as well and there's more structure behind him, Mount is going to be really good on the ball. We've got Casemiro. We're still trying to fix the midfield. We're still fixing things. We've got a keeper now who's going to put us on the front foot. You've got Martinez who's going to be on the front foot. It's changing.
And that's why we need a striker. Imagine those chances last season. Imagine we had a striker that actually could finish or played games.
And now Bruno's going to be the player. And now Bruno's going to be the player that he always should have been, which was kind of like a cherry on top. Not everything has to go through him. He saved us when he came here with that shit. It was all him. He scored all the goals and got all the assists. What? And now all of a sudden he's not the flavour. It's like, oh, get rid of him. He's too moany. Man United fans, give your head a wobble, man. Come on, man. Jesus. Let the rivals do the hating on our own players like Bruno and that. But come on. I don't mind constructive. And I'm not against, again, I'm not rose-tinted glasses like Bruno's perfect. He's amazing. I'm not saying that. But come on, man. Come on. You can't act like he's dead. Let's stop doing that. Edward says, Marshall FC still exists. We are here in the shadows. Big up, Micah. And Harold says, a lot of people would have hated Keno. He moaned. Yeah, and look, I'm not on a similar level. That because not on a similar level. Yeah, elite level, won everything. Yeah. I'm not going to do that because that's where it does get a bit blurred. Yeah. But I get your point. But yeah.
Last couple of topics, Flex. We can actually merge these both into one as well. So first off, Dean Henderson possibly going to, well, not possibly, most likely going to be going to Nottingham Forest. Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail is saying that Dean Henderson is set to join Nottingham Forest in a deal with up to £20 million once the Andre Onana deal goes through. Of course, we know that move is going to go through this week as well. But it might not be the only signing for the goalkeeping position we make this summer as well, because Chris Wheeler is also reporting that Tom Heaton could join Luton Town if Manchester United sign Zion Suzuki from Ura Reds. I'm always going to struggle with that one. Ura Reds. Yeah. Ura Reds.
What is it?
I just don't.
Isn't it Urawa?
Ura.
I think it's Urawa. Urawa or Urawa.
I think it's an Urawa Reds. I'm going to really struggle with that one. It's just too much R in there, for me. The point being is that we're gonna sign possibly another goalkeeper as well as Andre Onana this year, and it could be the Japanese goalkeeper Suzuki. I'm not happy.
Why are you not happy?
Because I don't think 20 million is enough for Dean Henderson.
Yeah, you want to push at minimum 25. Minimum 25. I get you on that. But we will probably have to take it. We will. Push, though. Push. I did say that. I said, what was the player when I was like, start at, I think I was Fred. I was like, start here and come down. That's fine. Yeah. Push for more. Definitely push for more. 25.
And 25, as Mike says in the chat, I mean, do we even need to sign him, Suzuki? I mean, Kovar, he is an option. Even before that pre-season game, he had a good loan out last season, didn't he? He's young.
Yeah. And he looked all right against us the other day. Looked good.
Why not?
Also, in the last couple of minutes, Sky Sports News, West Ham are interested in signing Scott McTominay. Manchester United are yet to receive an official bid. There you go, 45 million. The final decision over McTominay's future will rest on him.
I want £45 million. As a starting thing, and I'll come down.
Yeah,
we should get 40 million quid at least for Scott McTominay, particularly when we're negotiating with West Ham. They've just sold Declan Rice. They've got £100 million. This is again, we go back to like the Maguire situation. Is he good enough for Man United to be a starter? No, but he's a good Premier League player, homegrown, come through the academy. British tax, because he's Scottish, but British tax, £40 million. Start with 45, get it down. And
get it down. 35 plus add-ons.
whilst you're chatting, say, hey, we've got Harry. I've heard you're interested in him as well. Double deal. We'll take 5 million off, 75 million quid for both.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, get you in there. You know what I mean? Get you in there.
Why not?
It's sorted. What do you think? That bit there that says the line that it rests on him. What do you think Scott McTominay thinks this year? Yeah. Again, remember that thing that we always talk about of once you leave, you're going, How do you think he feels? Academy prospect, got to think quite hard about it. Mount's come in. If Fred goes, we get another midfielder.
There's another player ahead of him. In addition to that, you're talking possibly Amrabat as well. So there could be a couple more players actually ahead of him, really, at this point. For the sake of his career, he should probably leave to be playing regular first-team football. He doesn't have to worry about it from an international point of view. He doesn't. He's going to be playing for Scotland regardless. And the Euros are... The one thing you might say is the Euros are coming up next summer, and Scotland most likely are going to qualify for that. And you want to go into that tournament in the best shape possible, don't you? And maybe... like with Steve Clark, there might be those conversations of, obviously I'm going to pick you. You're one of the better players we've got, but I would prefer if you were playing every single week so you can go into this tournament with as much momentum as possible. So maybe there might be those conversations of actually, you know what? I'm getting a little bit older now. I'm getting into sort of, because how old is he now? 24, something like that. I think 25.
Yeah,
maybe?
24, 25.
So he's getting into those sort of, heading into those sort of prime years, no longer a kid by any stretch. So, yeah, West Ham's a good move for him. As I've said, I don't think anyone's going to be able to replace Declan Rice there. There you go, right? Older than that. 26, so I think it's a good move for him. He scored more goals in the Premier League than Declan Rice in 60 fewer games. That is a fact.
Mate, players get old really quick. Not old, but older, like really quickly, isn't it? Like before you realise it, it's mad.
Do you know what's the most sort of depressing aspect of that is? You go through a period of time in your life where still all of those football players, as they come through and that, they're all older than you. Then once you start getting into that phase where someone comes in, they go, he's burst onto this Man United side and they're younger than you, you go, oh, shit.
Yeah. I know.
When that moment happens, you go, oh, my God, it's happened. Because even when you're growing up playing football and you're sort of floating around academies or you're on trials at places or whatever, you still go, you never know what could happen. But that moment when you sort of get into like maybe like your 20s and they go, yeah, someone's just come through. They're 17. You go,
it's mad. It's mad, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
It's mad. It's mad. Yeah. Listen, McTominay's played a lot of football for Man United, over 200 appearances. That's not easy. That's not easy. I know we're saying essentially that quality needs to be higher, but he's a top pro. Been at Man United since 16, 17 season. You know what I mean? Since then, all the way through to now, over 200 appearances.
16, 17 side.
Yeah. Over Jose's side. So that counts for something. And in terms of a Declan Rice replacement, listen, with what Declan Rice was to West Ham, they need a couple. There's no like for like. But I tell you what, McTominay's a decent replacement, a very, very decent replacement. He's better than Souček, way better than Souček. And he can, Souček's rubbish. And he's mobile like Declan Rice, gets about the pitch, gets in a tackle like Declan Rice. And can't control the game. Maybe he's from deep like Declan Rice can. We've said scores more goals than Declan Rice as it stands. But Declan Rice is going up the other way to play on a front foot team and get higher up the pitch. So it's all, styles make fights, all that. But it's a very, very good acquisition for West Ham. And actually, and I'm not even mugging it off, I think West Ham fans, if you ask them, would absolutely take Scott McTominay.
I think so.
For them. I can't speak for all of them. If there's any in the chat, just by chance, don't know why you'd be here on a Monday morning. But Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV, if you're there.
Nicky Hawkins outside London Stadium, West Ham Fan TV.
Big up Dan.
As quick. It gets quicker every time. Nicky Hawkins outside London Stadium, West Ham Fan TV. How do you think it came, man?
Yeah. I love Nicky Hawkins.
I love him.
He is a proper good guy, man. But yeah, I think I've had a chat with people. I've had a chat with him. I've had a chat with Dan, a couple of other guys as well, and said, yeah, 100%, I'll take him. I think he's perfect for us. Absolutely perfect. They even said Maguire as well. That's what he needs. He needs a change of scenery. And some West Ham fans said, nah, we're good, thanks. But listen, mate, Maguire would be all right for West Ham. He really would.
Yeah, I agree.
Have we got any more for any more? Harold says a lot of people, oh, yeah, no, we're good. think we're good.
We're caught up.
Yeah.
By the way, as people are leaving, it must be said too, we haven't pushed it throughout the show. We've been so engrossed in what we've been talking about.
Yes,
we've still got nearly 3K watching. We've got over 500 likes. Let's get to 750. And also, be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner because it's tour week. And you know that here at UV, we do tour unlike anyone else. Yeah?
Here we go. Tour.
Here we go.
Yes, me and KG will be in America, obviously, as with Josh. We cannot go alone, me and KG, because nothing would happen. We need Josh, absolutely. FIFA stream is not coming back this week because early tomorrow morning we're going to. We work this out. It's not going to be we're not just dodging the inevitable here because we know we're going to get sacked. We have actually been really we are, but we have actually been really busy. But yes, tour content, like I said, going to be elite. We've got a lot planned. Can't wait to see you guys out there in America, whoever's coming to the games. Behind the scenes footage, interviews, you name it. We're going to be doing it. Fun, lifestyle stuff, everything. We're going to have a lot of fun, and United View is going to be the place to be. And some great collaborations coming out as well. So you guys are going to enjoy it. You're going to really, really enjoy it. And hopefully we get some more signings while we're there. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed, indeed. But there you go, guys. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned, subscribe because you never know. More transfer news, tour stuff happening. We're out of here. Peace.